It's been a minute since I've done a collab here on the channel, so I figured what better subject than to talk about the Galaxy Note 10 and whether or not you should buy it. Because really there's reasons you should and reasons you shouldn't. So I invited Jason from Painfully Honest Tech as I knew he would have some real strong opinions about this. And we're going to go back and forth and see what we come up with. We'll do all of that and more right after this.
This is, you know you listening to Travis.
What up, players? Welcome back. And for all you new people, welcome. My name's Travis and I do tech videos every single week and have a blast doing them. If that sounds like fun to you, sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Anything I talk about will be in the description below. But for now, let's just get into the video. So as I stated in the beginning, I figured it'd be really cool to have a discussion, or kind of a discussion, about the pros and cons of buying the Galaxy Note 10. Because this one is a little bit more controversial than others. Mainly because of the price and the fact that now there's two, really for the first time ever, two of the same type of device, just one bigger, one a little bit smaller. Now, a lot of people who have bought phones in the last year are wondering, should I upgrade? I get this in the comment section all the time. Should I go from the Galaxy Note 9 to the Galaxy Note 10? Should I get the S10 or the Note 9? Should I get the OnePlus 7 or should I get a Nokia phone? Okay, that one has never come up. But the point is simple. People want to know what they should or shouldn't buy. Now let me just be clear about this. You should buy whatever you can afford when you need to buy it. We're just going to entertain you with some pluses and minuses about the Galaxy Note 10. So I think what we'll do is we'll start off with Jason. He'll give you a bunch of reasons why you shouldn't. We'll come back and then I'll finish it off and tell you why you should.
Okay, so you want some cons, some things that are not going to be so good about the Samsung Galaxy Note 10. Now, overall, I'm sure it's going to be like most Galaxy Note devices are, an incredible phone. It's always an incredible phone. But there are some things about the phone that I am not excited about or are actively cons for me. And let's just go over a few of those. First, I have to go with the removal of the headphone jack. I just don't see the point in it, and for years, Samsung has been the company that has kept the headphone jack. They haven't made a big deal about it, but they've kept the headphone jack on their flagship phones, and now they're taking it away on what is arguably their most pro phone. So it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It really is kind of confusing. I know that we've heard recently that it had some things to do with extra battery capacity and that kind of stuff, but if you can stick a giant pen in there, then you can find some place to put a gosh darn headphone jack. And just for those of us who still love to have that feature on our phones, it would be great to see Samsung hold on to it at least in this Note line and sort of give us everything that we might need or want in this very expensive, most professional phone that's probably out there on the market today. Another thing that I'm not really excited about, although it's not something that bothers me too much, is the Infinity O display. We've got a big expansive AMOLED screen going on there. I'm sure the screen is going to be awesome. However, that little O, I liked how they did it on the Galaxy Note 10 Plus, where they put it over to the side. I'm sure that everybody's going to be coming up with wallpapers that will hide the O somehow, and that'll be clever and interesting, and everybody will go, ha ha ha. Last year's Note 9 device had such a slim bezel on the top, and it was just enough room for a camera array. So I don't know that we're really gaining anything by getting this hole in the screen when the bezel on the Note 9 was so slim to begin with, and we're still getting a larger, wider bezel on the bottom of the Note 10 anyway. I guess I'm just going to have to wait and see how much it really bothers me when the phone comes out. At first blush, I'm not a big fan of this kind of thing. Supposedly next year, all the notches and holes and everything else will be gone, but here in 2019, we have to deal with these holes, and that's a con that I am not so excited about. The SD card slot for expanded memory is going to be gone. It's possible that it goes that way for the 10 Plus, but what we know is that the smaller phone SD card slot, not going to be there anymore. And it's a mixed bag. People are moving away from the SD card slot. We're getting 256 gigabytes of storage to start, and that should be plenty for 99% of everybody, 95% of everybody. But still, the flexibility to have the SD card slot in there to expand your memory and really use the phone as you would want to use it is something that's a great shame to lose when Samsung has really made the Note 10 a powerhouse with all kinds of flexibility in all the years past. Now we're seeing them pull back some. The final con I'm going to talk about is on the camera side of the Galaxy Note 10. We have heard that supposedly Samsung is completely revamping all of their camera stuff, and it's going to be a totally different ballgame when we see the S11 next year. And unfortunately, the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 is not really seeing too much of an improvement, at least in the hardware, from the Galaxy S10, S10 Plus, etc., etc. And other things on the software side that are going to help the Note 10 really differentiate itself from the previous phone that came out this year. We're just going to have to wait and see. But really, it feels like Samsung has the technology, has everything figured out to the point where they're ready to slot it into the S11 right now. And with the Note being the sort of premium, super flagship, super showcase phone that Samsung puts out every year, you would think they would really push forward to try and get that stuff into the Note 10, but they're not. I'm hoping there's improved stuff from the camera, but we just won't know until until we get the phone in our hands. So anyway, thanks to Travis for allowing me to come on here and complain about some stuff. There are pros, there are cons. There are some cons that have pros. There, it's all over the place. I'm excited to go to the Note 10 event next week on Wednesday to really see what it's all about, to really find out all the different specs and everything that the phone has. But until then, I'm just going to have to wait and see. So once again, my name is Jason, sometimes known as the JTL. Come visit me on Painfully Honest Tech. And yeah, thanks, Travis.
Thanks, Jason. Now, I'm going to tell you why you should buy it, but just so you know, over on his channel, I'll be giving my reasons why I think you shouldn't. So it'll be kind of similar to what he just did, and he'll be giving you reasons why you should, which is basically what I'm going to do right now. So why should you buy the Galaxy Note 10? Well, this is pretty simple. There's a couple of reasons. Number one, it's going to be the best phone of the year. I don't know how else to say that. The Note is always the best phone of this year on the Android side of things. If you're an iOS person, then okay, you stay over there. But we're talking about Android. Year after year, the Note series has been the pinnacle of everything. Now, there's more competition than ever. I'll admit that. This year is probably much different than it ever has been before. But the Note series always brings it, and not just really with the hardware, the software is what really puts it over the edge. And that S Pen. Now, if you've used the S Pen for any length of time, you know that it's a pretty clutch option. Now, I like it whenever I do use it when the screen is off and keeping notes. That is so awesome. I do it anytime I need to remember something and I don't feel like completely unlocking my phone. You just take it out, leave a note, and boom, you're ready to go. We already know that the cameras are going to be great because the S10 is awesome. The cameras on those are amazing. And the Notes have always been at least as good, sometimes even better when they add an extra camera. Now, if you go back, and I've actually talked about this before, there was a time when the Note had 2 cameras versus the 1 on the S series. So they've done a good job of always giving the cameras a nice little tweak above the S series. I'm actually excited about something that we don't actually know a lot about yet, and that's the software side of things. They always go above and beyond their software. There's either new editing techniques, new things to take pictures with, new note-taking things. There's always something amazing about the software on the Note series of phones. You're getting the best processor. The 855 Plus may just be an overclocked 855, I get it. But it is the best processor, you can't argue that. So if for no other reason, you are getting an upgrade. Now, if you're going from an S10, I might not say you should do that. But if you're going from like an 845 to an 855 Plus, that's a win. If you've never owned a Note before, this is absolutely the one to get. A much larger screen, very little cutout for the actual camera, and of course, it being in the middle makes the most sense that it ever has. And if you get the Pro model, you get to keep your SD expansion, which is great. You do lose the headphone jack, but to be perfectly honest, I know, especially for someone like me, I only use Bluetooth headphones, the vast majority of people will be unaffected by that. And we just know Samsung is going to pull out all the stops for the Note 10. All the software, all the hardware, the accessories, free trade-ins, all types of cool stuff. You're going to be able to get apparently a buy one, get one from Verizon. Like, it's crazy. They're going over, above, and beyond to try to make sure the Note 10 is successful, and they have to. This year is super critical for Samsung, so you know they're going to be pulling out all the stops for this phone. To be clear, the Note 10 will be the best phone this year. There will be contenders, absolute top contenders, but the champion is the Note 10. There is no doubt. If you have the money to spend, it's going to be worth the investment. You won't have to buy another phone for a couple of years. If you want to, sure, go ahead, feel free. It's your money, I don't care. But the point is, you won't have to. This thing is going to be top shelf, magnifique. Screen's going to be amazing, performance is going to be great, camera's going to be excellent. No one can deny that. We don't even have to see the presentation to know this is going to be a top-end phone. So if you're looking for the best that is available today, it's the Note 10. It will be, and it will be until next year. So, should you get one? If you're looking for the top end, you want the best phone of the year, you want the big swag, you want to throw it down on the table and say, I got the best phone in the room, Note 10 is where it's at. So I want to thank Jason for coming by and sharing his opinions on this. He had some really good opinions, but of course, back over in his channel, I'll leave an end card, is the opposite. I'll be giving the cons, he'll be giving the pros. That should be interesting. Regardless, if you buy the Note 10 or if you don't, you're gonna win. Buy one or don't, you've made the right decision. If you buy one, you get the best phone in 2019. If you don't, you saved yourself a bunch of cash, and there's tons of other phones out there. In my opinion, for any of the tech heads like me, just go ahead and pre-order, just do it. You know you're gonna do it. You're gonna do it, right? I know one person for sure is going to. Shout out to LeBaron. I see you, playa. I see you. If this video helped you out in any way, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. And if it didn't, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. I'm here every single mother... Having a blast. Hope to see you again real soon. Peace and love. Peace and love. Let me go watch that other thing.